helps everyone feel safe. Close. I don't have any moderators right now. My moderators are fucking Big Heathers, and she's at work. Alright, so let's open up this apple soda. And for those of you who watch my normal content, this might be weird, but it's 1:18 in the morning. I work nights, and it's time to go read some Edgar Allan Poe. Which, honestly, like, I've seen, like, little bits and pieces of The Raven, especially, like, in media, like, throughout my entire life, but I've never actually read The Raven by myself. So, just for experimentation purposes, today we're actually going to go read some Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven. Go ahead and wet the whistle here. If you guys are watching this later on live, let me know how you like this idea. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary. If you're weak and weary at like a midnight, like pondering, like you probably need a Xanax. Over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. That didn't rhyme, bad. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping. Like something's fucking him off, like he's like trying to go to bed, and then they're like, oh, nah, you can't go to bed, Edgar. You've been up all day, but we ain't gonna let you sleep. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. So he just heard like a tapping while he was being depressed. Ah, distinctly, I remembered it was in the bleak December. You know, as a dyslexic person, I probably should have chose some sort of live where it's not reading. In each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books a staircase of sorrow. Sorrow for the lost Lenore. So he's like fucking like, he's like, yeah, I used to have like free access to that punani, and now I don't have it no more. For the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. AKA she's dead. What they highlight fucking here, so like, is she? And the silken sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, 'tis some visitor entering entrance at my chamber door. Some late night visitor entering entrance of my chamber. You know what? I have a lot better idea, you guys. Instead of him sitting in his room being depressed as all shit, he should probably get up and go touch some grass. To some visitor entering my chamber door. Some late visitor entrance. I'm dyslexic. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating, then no longer. Like he's like building up. Sir, I said, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce sure I heard you here, opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more. AKA fucking Edgar was hallucinating off the fucking laudanum. That's what they like to do back in the day. AKA laudanum, that's opium and alcohol, and you up the strength depending on how much books they're reading about crows. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. Yeah, that's how you get in trouble with the gods, Edgar. You might want to calm yourself there. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore, his dead fucking wife. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back in the word, Lenore! Merely this, and nothing more. Like, he's like shouting into like the darkness, like now at this point. The laudanum is like taking full effect, and it's really, really hard for him to have his like dying wife like move on. He's like sitting, he's got nothing to do, he's just looking into the dark, he's hearing tapping, like there's like a full fucking ghost. Pick a car for an edit? What am I even doing a car? Do you eat powdered laundry detergent? Yo, I did one time when I was in college, but you know, that was just college. Hi. Onyx Sunder. Don't even know who that is. Open here, I flung the shutter, when with many flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the stately days of yore. I think that's how you pronounce that word. Not the least obsedence made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. That probably means something. Perched and sat, and nothing more. Pallas is probably like some sort of like relevance to like something that happened in life. Then this ebony bird of bilangling my sad fancy in the smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the continuance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, ooh, look at that, she at least got not come Harry. Onyx Barbosa is from, hi sir, hi, we're reading poems. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore, quoth the raven, nevermore. So the raven's like starting to like talk to him like he's like a fucking like ghost and shit, and it's sitting up on his like rich like statues and like all that stuff, trying to like tell him about like his dead wife, but really it sounds like he's hallucinating on the fucking laudanum. Much I marveled at this ungainly fowl, to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. I feel like Nevermore low key is like his like fucking like dead wife. Like the Raven's just like kind of like an example of like his like wife. Like his wife is Nevermore. The Raven's Nevermore. He's sitting on like a bust of someone that's also dead. They're Nevermore. Hey, do you have balls? I do, but typically it costs about $300 at a time. Under $300, I typically don't have balls for much. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outspore. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather, then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. So again, to me, this is more like a fucking like commentary on like death, like right now. Like again, like the bird's like fucking like nevermore. His hopes and dreams of interacting with them are nevermore. Like everything's just nevermore. He's like a really like sad fuck, Edgar Allan Poe. Startled at the stillness broken by reply, so aptly spoken, doubtless, I said. What utters, it is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope and melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore. Alright, that's definitely him talking about depression. He's talking about depression of like his like lost wife, like the melancholy that follows like nevermore, caught from an unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster had happened to. Like that's like definitely like something about the depression. But the raven, still bugling at all of my fancy and smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of a bird, and bust a door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking, what is this ominous bird of yore? What is this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meaning and croaking, nevermore? Dude, he's the fucking Reaper, bro. Like, I swear to God, like, at this point, he's, like, the fucking Reaper. Like, the crow and everything's, like, coming, reminding you of death. You got all your melancholy. You're sitting on your fucking couch with your laudanum, talking to fucking birds on top of statues and shit. You should probably, like, shut your fucking door. You know, if you shut your fucking door, then you probably wouldn't have birds in coming over here, giving you, like, fucking, like, Dementor-type depression. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed far from an unseen censer, swung by Siphon, whose footfalls tinkled on the tough floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, no something, quaff this kind of, what, anyways, the raven's over here, the raven's calling out nevermore. He's basically going like, Edgar, your ass is like on the fucking couch and everything. Like, fucking, like, when are you gonna like get up and go do something? Eventually you have to go to work, Edgar. Prophet, I said, thing of evil. Prophet still, bird or devil. By the heaven that bonds us above, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow, laden if within distant Aden. It shall clasp sainted maiden, whom the angels came. Lenore, clasp rare radiant maiden, who the angels named Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. I feel like Lenore is the raven now. She's like at this point like some sort of like radiant spirit that's coming for that ass. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or friend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back to the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Believe no black plume is broken of that thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy break from out my heart, and take thy from off my door, quoth the raven, nevermore. And anyways, that's kind of like the end of the poem, except he's like talking about like more like ravens and like birds and shit that he's seeing. But, like, the guy just, like, really doesn't, like, fucking, like, understand. Like, maybe you can go outside and, like, touch some fucking grass, Edgar. Alright, this was just an experiment, you guys. I'm gonna end this and actually just go back on the chat. So if you do want to go ahead and chat with me, come on and let me know.